asked a real question. How long and how much can you endure and not cheat? Got to know that. Because many of you will say, listen, I want to be in a committed relationship. I want to be in a relationship where you love me, where you value me. But how many of y'all, I'm going to break this thing down in this episode, but how long can you stay and endure the disrespect? How long can you endure the upsets or the emotional roller coaster activities before you cheat?
Man, you are really encouraging me, motivating me, inspiring me. God is really using you to help me
What's going
out.
on, family? I want to welcome you to AOS, the podcast. I'm your host, Mr. AOS Inspires. This is what I need you to do. We're on every single platform, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. I need you to go and subscribe and follow us right now. We drop content every single day that'll help you with your life, because our mission here at AOS, the podcast, is to empower the world to never give up, one conversation at a time, one interview at a time, one video at a time, to help you live life at the next level. I want you to live life on the next level. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you that's watching this episode. This is going to be a dynamic episode. I need you to dive in. Do me a big favor. I need you to like, share, and comment. Don't be a stranger. Comment with us. And this is what I need you also to do. I need you to copy this link right here on this podcast, this episode, and share it with at least 10 of your friends. I promise you, it's going to help them out. Let's jump into the episode. Family, thank you for rocking with us today. Let's go ahead and jump right on into it real fast. And I just want to say this as we go ahead and get launched in, right? Get locked in. I mean, the statement of saying once a cheater, always a cheater is kind of, I'm going to say this, sometimes it's not fair. But I believe that the spirit of a cheater, once a spirit of a cheater is in you and you locked in on that, it's almost difficult to change. Let's really be honest. Many of you, I'm gonna tell you this, is crazy, because many of you have amazing women. Many of you have amazing men, and you still step out. I'm gonna tell you the most disheartening part of it all: when you have been faithful to somebody and you're locked in, and you had, watch this is the big one, and you had opportunities to step out and find somebody else that you rock with, that you can get with, but you chose not to, and you chose to stay faithful. That's the most difficult part for any relationship. I promise you, right? So let's go ahead and lock in and talk about this, because many people are in relationships that you endure so much disrespect. You endure all the fighting, the fussing, and the normal stuff in relationships that happens, right? Or you just endure. You may be that woman that is with a guy, and he's like, yo, I have an idea. I'm an entrepreneur. Like, this thing is going to hit. And it never hits. Year 6, year 10, year 15, year 20, nothing hits, right? And it's just like excuse after excuse after excuse. How long would you stay faithful to this man before you step out? Or if you would step out, let's have this dialogue real fast. I want to break some nuances down, peel back some layers on this one, because the truth of the matter is, I need you to understand what you're getting into before you get into it. Many people get into relationships thinking that it's going to be this honeymoon phase and it's going to be this honeymoon stage throughout the whole relationship, and that's so far removed from the truth. So far removed from the truth. I just got a quick question for you, real fast. How much and how long can you endure? How long can you stay locked in and not cheat? How long? Many of you will always say, "Oh, I'm good. I'm until the real test flows over, until the real test comes." Because I'm telling you, it's going. Listen, in a relationship, you will get tested every single time. I promise you. In your relationship, you will be tested. Your patience will be tested. Your love will be tested. Your endurance will be tested. Your trust will be tested. Every relationship has ran its course. Every relationship has endured some of these things. Maybe not all of them, but they will endure some of these things. Now let's peel back this layer real fast. Many people believe that relationships, when you get into a relationship, that it's always going to be happy. And that's so far removed from the truth. Many of you are like, I already knew that. I know it's, but some of y'all don't. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this. A lot of people will say, I know that a relationship is not always going to be happy. There's going to be some upsets, but many of you get thrown aback when those upsets happen in your relationship and you're ready to throw in the towel. Let's really be honest. Now I'm gonna tell you this. Many relationships will say, I love this. I have boundaries, or we have boundaries where we don't say certain words. And I love that, right? Some relationships, they want to say it, they want to do it, but they can't do it. It's difficult because you get in your feelings and you say things. That's the most damaging part about any relationship. When you get in your feelings and you say things that you really don't mean, but you mean in the moment. Y'all feel me, right? You can say some things that you really don't mean, but you mean it in the moment, but you really don't mean it in totality about the relationship. And that's what I really want to put a pin right there. I want to put a good pin, a decent pin right there. Don't say something that you truly don't mean because it can come to backfire on you. Because you can say some things that you really don't mean in the moment and you say it and it just, I'm going to tell you this. You can forgive somebody for the things that they have done, but it's difficult for you to forgive somebody for things that they have said. It's difficult because those words run in your mind month after month, second after second, day after day. It's hard to get them. You can ask for forgiveness all day long. Like I can, like, please forgive me. Okay, cool, I forgive you. But I mean, that thing just run in your mind. Listen, it just runs, and it's hard to get that thing out. That's why I tell new couples, taste your words before you spit them out. Please do. Please, 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 please. New relationships, also new marriages. Taste your words before you spit them out. Because sometimes we can say things that we feel in the moment that we really don't feel, but we just feel it in the moment. I hate you. Now, what you mean you hate me? That's my mom always told me those some strong words. I can't stand you. I want to leave. And I get it. You know, we're all guilty for it. At some people at some junctures in their relationship, some people at some levels, you know, maybe in the beginning level, maybe in the mid level, maybe whatever, right? We're all guilty at some point, some way, some fashion. But I really want to tell you, if you don't remember anything else that I say on this podcast, remember this. The number one thing in relationships for a marriage or even a relationship to work, you got to be able to forgive fast. That's the foundation. I'm going to be honest with you. That's the all in all. Because you will never be able to endure anything if you don't forgive fast. You will always cheat if you don't forgive fast. Most people cheat because they haven't forgiven. If you really, listen, if you really dissect what's the problem in the relationship, most of it will stem from not forgiving the person that you're in relationship with. That's a bar. That's fact. Most people, and let's catch this. Most people cheat because something has happened in the relationship that they haven't forgiven their person for. Let's really break it down. Like if you don't agree, comment. Like leave a comment right now. I don't agree. We can talk about it. We can go live about it. But every single problem in a relationship, I guarantee you, it stems from unforgiveness. I have not forgiven you for this. Most people don't. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, but for the most part, the studies that I've seen, most people don't cheat just to cheat because they got a problem with cheating. I mean, do you have some people that just got a problem? Like, I gotta have some new sex with a new person. There's an issue somewhere, there's a trauma somewhere with that person, and that is true. But in most cases, most people don't cheat just to cheat, just to cheat. They don't do that. Most people cheat because there's an issue in the relationship and they haven't forgiven the other person for what they have done. So it's not like a get back, but it's something to fill a void that I feel in the moment that I haven't really gotten over. That's why most people cheat. Most people, and I know in this day and age, I'm going to say that in this day and age, the new age people, they're not able to endure. You got to really be raised old school to really be able to endure all the bull crap that you deal with in relationships. And I want to ask you so that you can look in the mirror and ask yourself, if you're single before you get into a relationship, how long can you endure or how long can you stay and not cheat? Because I've heard this statement all the time too. I want to get into the old school thinking too, but I've heard this all the time. I would never, and it sounds cool and it sounds cute, but most people don't live by it, right? A lot of people, I'm gonna say most people, a lot of people don't live by it, but it sounds good. A lot of people will say, I would leave you before I cheat on you. Now, before I get into the old school mentality, I'm gonna say this. Women, you ladies are notorious for cheating non-sexually. You ladies are notorious for that because a lot of women will say, I'll leave before I cheat on them. The truth of the matter is, you've already cheated. You've entertained another guy through conversation, right? And the conversation wasn't innocent. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That's a form of cheating. I mean, you may not have done anything physical, but that's entry level, right? You've opened that door. And I'm gonna tell you this. I remember a video, a reel that I did a while ago, a couple months back, that hit really big. I think like what 15, 20,000 views, something like that. And I was saying that a lot of women, if a guy gives you a compliment and you smile, if you're in a relationship, that's not the right response. Why? Because if you smile and the guy give you a compliment, he feels as if it's okay to say thank you, I appreciate it. But when you smile, it changes the dynamics of that compliment. Because now this guy feels as if I have a doorway or entryway in with her. Now, how the relationship or how the interaction goes after that, that's what qualifies or quantifies it for cheating. Some will agree. That's why I love what I do. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this. I love what I do with talking about relationship advice because the truth of the matter is, there's going to be some people that agrees 100%. There's some people that's going to agree 50%. There's going to be some that people that disagree 50%. But then also there are going to be some people that disagree 100%. There's no right or wrong. It's all perspective. It's all mindset. It's all about, I love this. This is the reason why I love what I do, is because it's all about how your perspective is, how you look at things, right? Some people think that it's okay for a man to sit in the car while the woman pump the gas. I don't like that. That's why I love what I do. I believe that, and I'm gonna tell you this. Let me do a rant real fast. I was at the gas station. I got some gas for my wife's truck. And I saw this lady get out the car. She went in there and paid for the gas, came back out to the pump. It was cold outside that morning. I saw the guy, and he saw me. I mean, he don't know why I was looking at him as hard as I was, and he saw, he saw some frustration on my face, right? But he didn't know what it was. But he's sitting in the front seat, just cooling, just looking all. Man, get out and pump the gas, right? I don't care if it's your friends. I don't care. Old school like that. But let's get to the old school mindset. Old school mindset, women, and I'm not saying that this is a good thing. I'm not saying it's good or bad. Neither one. I'm not saying either one. But the old school mindset women, they would endure being cheated on. What's going on, family? I know that you're enjoying the episode, but I had to pause to ask you a quick question. Have you ever been through anything in life that was so life-altering that it changed your life forever? I mean, have you ever been and had a job and you lost that job? I mean, your dream job. You lost that job for whatever reason. Maybe you're an entrepreneur. You started a business and the business started off great and then it seemed as if it was going downhill. And now you're at a place, you lost your marriage, you lost your children, you lost some major things in your life. And now you're at a place in life where you're like, hey, this is the end of the road. I don't see it getting better. I got news for you. It will get better. And I wrote a book just for you. It's entitled Winning After a Major Loss. You need to go and get your copy. Go to barnesandnoble.com, go to amazon.com, get your copy right now. Winning After a Major Loss. I promise you, it's going to change the trajectory of your life. It's going to change your mindset. Most importantly, it's going to change your heart about your situation, because I promise you, you can win after a major loss. Go get your copy now. Barnes & Noble's, amazon.com. Order your copy now. Let's get back to the episode. Every single time, right? They would endure being cheated on and still stay faithful to their guy and not move or not nothing. Now you have some women that old school women that would step out because their guy was beating on them and stuff like that. I'm definitely not encouraging you to stay if a guy's beating on you. I'm definitely not encouraging that a woman should stay if a guy is verbally abusing you. I'm definitely not saying that if a guy is treating you like trash to stay in that marriage or that relationship. I'm not encouraging that. Matter of fact, I'm not going to tell you to leave. You make a decision that you feel like that's necessary for your life. But I would not encourage, even if I counsel somebody, she told me, hey, he beats me up every day. I would not say, no, y'all don't need a divorce. No, I would say it's time to get up out of here. Chuck them deuces, right? But I always want people to make the decision for themselves. The reason I do that is because I never want you to say, well, you told me to leave and you don't like the outcome. No, I want you to make the decision that's best for you. So, but the old school mindset, women, they stayed. Like no matter how bad the situation is, they stayed. They just had a mindset that once I got married, my vows to God, listen, even if he don't withhold the vows, I'm gonna uphold the vows that I made to God. They really took that thing seriously. The women back then took that thing serious. Now, many people will argue in the comments, will say the reason they took the vow serious because they didn't have no money, so they couldn't go nowhere. But it is what it is, right? I mean, if that's your thinking, right? That's your thinking. I can't fight that. I like to believe that the women of those days stayed because this is how they were raised. You get married once and you stay married. You don't cheat on your husband, right? Now, it wasn't really taught, truth of the matter is, it wasn't really taught back then. The man stay faithful. Some good households, some good families, they taught that. You stay faithful to your wife. Don't you mess around. I know my parents taught me that, right? And they were from the old school. No matter what happened, we stand together. But that mindset is no longer present, right? So, but I just really want to know, how long can you stay locked in, right? Committed. I mean, still waking up cooking, ladies, when you don't feel like it. Fellas, still giving her money when she needs it, or still making sure that her gas tank is filled up, right? When the relationship gets rocky. Because truth of the matter is, the relationship will get rocky. I promise you, the relationship will get rocky. You will have some moments in the relationship where you're like, listen, this is, that was the feather that broke the camel's back. I'm done. You will have some moments like that in your relationship. And I tell people this all the time. That's when relationships or marriages start. When you get to a place in your relationship where you're like, listen, I can't do this no more. I'm done. That's when it starts. That's when it starts. Not when, listen, anybody can have a good relationship and everything's happy. Anybody can have a good relationship and you guys are always loving each other, happy, and everything's cool and calm and nah. The real relationship starts when you like, look, hey, put some boxing gloves on, let's go knuckle up right quick. Now, I'm not encouraging y'all to do that, but I'm saying you feel like that sometimes, right? It's the fellas that's been in relationships for a while. Ladies, it's been in relationships for a while. You feel like, I don't promote violence, but you feel like, listen, we need to box it. I'm sick of your mouth, right? That's when your relationship starts. How you respond in those moments, that's when your relationship starts. That's when the work is done. Now, I'm going to say this and I'm out. It's easy to step out of a relationship and cheat and have a side situation going on and still dealing with your person because the side situations make you happy, so I can deal with the problems and the bull crap that's going on I can deal with it. Why? Because I have an escape route, right? I have a way that I can get out and really let my hair down. But that's not the way to go. Period. So I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I don't want to hold y'all that long. But I just really wanted to put that question out here. How long can you stay locked in? How long can you stay committed? How long can you endure and not cheat? How much can you endure and not cheat? That's the question I want you to think about before you get into a relationship, before you lock in with anybody. Think about that. I'm go. Let go. What's going on, family? I want to say thank you for rocking with us during this episode. We have been so excited to drop this episode. I'm glad that you made it to the end. This is what I want you to do. If you have any takeaways from this episode, leave it in the comments. We want to hear your thoughts. We want to hear how you feel. I want to bring content to you that's relevant to you, that'll help you change your life, because you already know our mission here at AOS Inspires, AOS the podcast, is to empower the world to never give up, one conversation at a time, one interview at a time, one video at a time, to help you live life at the next level. This is what I need you to do. I need you to like, subscribe, share this episode. If it spoke to your life, share this episode with somebody. Why? Because you are connected to some people that we're not connected with. And with that connection together, we can empower the world to never give up. I'm Mr. AOS Inspires. This is AOS the podcast. I can't wait to see you next week. Just in case you didn't know, we drop every single week, 3 times a week. Mondays, 8 a.m., Wednesdays, 8 a.m., and Fridays, 8 a.m. You need to catch an episode. Matter of fact, catch all 3 episodes. It's going to be fire. I promise you it's going to help you doing your everyday life. It's going to help you get to the next level. Let's go.